RocknRoller Disco has been established since 2009 and is the UK's #1 roller disco. RocknRoller has over 50 staff members working on a part-time basis and has regular events at Orpington, Leatherhead and Westcroft in Colshorton. We also hold a number of private and corporate events throughout the year at different locations around the UK. The roller disco really is something for everyone, from high-level corporate companies to families and young children. RocknRoller is a well-established brand around the UK. However, they do have problems with their fixed assets. They have 2 identical sets of equipment. However, the second set of equipment is only utilised between 4 or 5 times a year. Before discussing the value proposition, the 2016 budget has just been released and can affect the RocknRoller's new business idea. The Chancellor, George Osborne, has just proposed a tax on all fizzy drinks. This will come into place in 2018. The money raised from the tax will go towards schools' sporting activities. As a large proportion of the population consuming fizzy drinks are aged between 11 and 18 years, this is causing a massive obesity crisis in the NHS. RocknRoller Disco can use this as an opportunity to give schools a fun new sporting activity for their pupils. The business idea is to utilise the fixed asset and use it within secondary schools around the southeast of England at first. However, if successful, it can be taken and marketed to all 25,000 secondary schools in the UK. This business model is not just limited to state schools, but can be brought into private schools as well. Many secondary schools have many after-school activities such as netball, football and rounders. Many secondary schools are looking for new ways to get teenagers active in a fun, safe way. The RocknRoller equipment can be used as part of a PE lesson or as an after-school activity. At the end of the package deal, RocknRoller can offer the school to have their very own roller disco. This can be either outside on the tennis courts in the summer or inside in the sports hall to have a real roller disco experience. The key activities and key resources are very similar to what RocknRoller have at the moment in their public and private roller discos. The main activity is for the teenagers to learn a new skill in a fun and interactive way. RocknRoller will provide all skates and safety equipment. The resources of a well-established brand such as RocknRoller will give reassurance to the school when an agreement is made. RocknRoller have many key partners such as Lambeth Council and Croydon Council. This will help give leverage when marketing to the schools. At the moment, RocknRoller will be contacted by the PTA and deputy heads of the school to hold a roller disco. These schools are booked on an annual basis and display a strong demand to have a roller skating activities in their schools. The cost of developing this business model will be very small. This is due to the equipment already being established in the business. However, there will be costs in marketing and business management due to the amount of paperwork that will be involved. The revenue that can be made and the savings from not having to pay rent on a storage unit will be very beneficial to RocknRoller. The business model will offer schools 3 different packages: bronze, silver and gold. Schools will be able to rent the equipment from 1 month to a year. Each option will have the choice of the amount of skates they will rent out and will all have a roller disco included at the end. Based only on the bronze package of 1 to 50 pairs of skates, and if 5 packages are agreed over a 10-month period, there could be an annual revenue of £40,000. This illustrates that more revenue will be made if RocknRoller sell out on bronze packages than selling 1 gold package, but a gold package will be cheaper to manage. Developing further from the business model canvas, the long-tail business model demonstrates where RocknRoller are now and where their business model will develop to. The body is focusing on a small number of products that will reach a large volume. RocknRoller have their mobile roller disco that can move all over the UK throughout the year. This is due to their customer segment aimed at a mass market. The long tail segment focuses on a large number of products with a low volume. This will be the new value proposition of having roller discos in schools. This would be a niche market segment and would have a low number of distribution channels and customer relations. communication channels will be the same as the existing channels that RocknRoller have in place at the moment. RocknRoller have a database of 50,000 customers, from previous schools to past customers that have attended the RocknRoller Disco. They also have 2,000 followers on Facebook, 1,000 followers on Instagram, and 1,000 followers on Twitter. RocknRoller's main line of communication is telephone and email. When looking into the new business model in more detail, the Red and Blue Ocean Strategy by Kim and Mayborn 2015 can give a clear indication of how this new idea may be beneficial to RocknRoller. The Red Ocean Strategy is where RocknRoller stands at the moment. Working on mass marketing, they do have competition from other mobile roller discos, such as Razza Roller Disco and Sal's Roller Disco. Blue Ocean Strategy is the new value proposition. As there is nothing else in the market like this would capture a new demand and set a new trend within schools. Furthermore, the RocknRoller Disco are utilising the demand of roller discos at the end of term, but also offering something extra for their pupils. Rental of the roller skates can be used for extracurricular activities or an after-school club. They could even be used as a team sport activity like roller hockey or relay racing. The options are endless. With this new idea, there is no longer a key competition, as the key trends of industry forces have changed. Also, the key target has changed from young families and corporate groups to a more specific segment of young teenagers aged between 11 and 18 years old. Overall, this new value proposition is a blue ocean strategy, as it utilises the resources and saves money on rental space that RocknRoller are paying at the moment to store their unused equipment. So if I break this down a little bit further for you, there are 4 value curves. First one is to create, which obviously we're creating a new business plan / model, as in opening the roller disco to schools. The raise part is looking closely at RocknRoller Disco and establishing an even stronger name within the schools. Eliminate is eliminating the rental costs and not utilising the fixed assets that we have. And lastly is reduce. This would be reducing the costs and obviously reducing any fixed assets that aren't being utilised correctly, which can obviously increase new jobs and new opportunities for RocknRoller. Looking at a business model, a SWOT matrix is a great way to analyse what the main points that should be illustrated when actioning your new idea. First, we will look at the strengths. There are many strengths in the new business model. The 5 key strengths are utilising the fixed assets, saving money, creating a stronger brand, increasing the annual revenue, and supporting a new idea to help the obesity crisis. The next segment is opportunities. This is not only the opportunities for the schools and pupils, but the opportunities for RocknRoller company itself. The 3 main opportunities are creating a new niche activity that all kids can enjoy, RocknRoller becoming a stronger, well-known brand, and giving school children the opportunity to look forward to something, for example, after the exam period. With regard to the weaknesses, obviously having a new business model will create more time management, which can be costly. Also, new legislations and paperwork will need to be put in place, as this activity will be put into schools and will be unsupervised by RocknRoller company itself. Leading on to this, we have our threats. Obviously, with any sporting activity, roller skating is a dangerous sport, and there can be an increase in injuries, especially as the roller disco will not be there in term time. There is also an added threat in roller skating companies copying this business plan, and this could develop into a misrepresentation of RocknRoller as a company. It may mislead consumers into thinking that one company that is doing badly is RocknRoller, when in fact it is another company altogether. However, the weaknesses and the threats outweigh the opportunity that RocknRoller could establish here. as they can have a stronger and closer relationship with schools, which can create a stronger brand within themselves. They can also access more schools through schools communicating with each other, and they can steal the competition from other roller discos that do go into schools like Razza Roller Disco and Roller Tate. Roller skating and roller discos help children with their motor skills, their confidence and also their social skills, as it's a fun activity that everyone can access. In conclusion, this is a great opportunity for both RocknRoller Disco and schools, as they will be able to establish a great relationship and give something new to the students of the school. For further details on this new business idea, please contact Gabby, the office manager, at gabby@rocknrollardisco.com or telephone on 0208 656 0513.